Chronic malnutrition in children is a major problem for Africa. According to the United Nations Children's Agency, UNICEF, chronic malnutrition costs $25 million annually. Ethiopia has now launched a 2.5-year program to help boost key nutrition interventions. CCTV's Carol Oyola with the details.
Children in conflict-ridden nations in Africa suffer the most from chronic malnutrition. According to the World Health Organization, there has been an increase in stunting among the poorest urban population in Africa from 35 to 37%.
Well, almost every country in Africa today has rates of severe acute malnutrition. The question is how high it goes. So today, for example, the highest prevalence rates of severe acute malnutrition would be in countries such as Mali, Democratic Republic of Congo, and Sudan, Somalia particularly, for example. So many of the countries, interestingly, that are bordering Ethiopia would be some of the worst countries on the continent at the moment for severe acute malnutrition.
Sub-Saharan Africa has some of the world's highest rates of chronic malnutrition among children. The United Nations Children's Agency, UNICEF, estimates that chronic child malnutrition costs African countries a staggering $25 billion a year in loss of productivity and health costs that otherwise might have been avoided. It is these numbers that called for a meeting in Ethiopia's capital, Addis Ababa. A 2.5-year national nutrition program was launched at the summit. The plan hopes to reduce stunting statistics from 44 to 30%. However, there are mixed opinions on the progress of reducing stunting in the continent.
African countries still have a very substantial problem with undernutrition. There are many stunted children in the world, and in fact the prevalence of stunting is almost the highest in most of the African countries, along with South Asia. And the rate of improvement, the rate of reduction in stunting is actually slowest in sub-Saharan Africa.
The 240 million people in Africa are chronically undernourished. What it means that the food they are having is not containing enough energy to meet their needs. I think this is important. But if you want you are interested in the number of malnourished people, this is really very difficult to estimate. But we know that roughly about 30%, from 30 to 40% of children under 5 years are malnourished.
African and international leaders, as well as key stakeholders in the food security sector, will meet at the African Union headquarters in Addis Ababa from 30th June. They will discuss renewing the partnership for a unified approach to end hunger in Africa by 2025. Carol Oyola, CCTV.